Today we're going to discover Monday Musings, where we explore thought-provoking commentary to start your week. Our card for today is Engage. Now, if you're curious about these cards, these are journal cards that I created myself. Each of them has a verb on them. So they could be a journey card or a journal card. If you're interested, I will put that in the comments there. Today we're talking about engage. How do we engage? We're in the middle of 2020. I don't know about you guys, but this has been the year of lots of changes and lots of things happening that have caused more isolation, more disconnection, and less engagement with oneself and others. And interestingly, on the other side, maybe more engagement, if that's something you've looked for. We have moved into an era where we're plugged into our phone, our TV, our tablet, and we're tuning out the world around us. If we're tuning it out, it's hard to stay engaged. Now, by tuning out the world, though being tapped in really does help us connect with more people, communicate with more people, even around the world. I've had the opportunity this year to meet people from India, Russia, Saudi Arabia, China. It's been amazing how many people I've been able to engage in. But the thing has been different. These are people I'm seeing on my screen. I'm not seeing in person. And that engagement changes. Now, we have a tendency to sleepwalk through our life. There's no joy, there's no satisfaction. We're just going from day to day to day to the next day. And then we wonder what happened. What happened to our day? What happened to our week? What happened to our month? What happened to the year? And we look back and we think, I don't know, I don't remember. Now imagine what would happen if you became more consciously engaged. Good morning, Tamara. What would happen if you became more consciously engaged with yourself and with the world around you? What could we do? When we're more engaged, we're more present, we're more aware, and we're more conscious of what's going on around us. And this really allows us to connect with the whole world, with others. And by connecting with others, also really connecting with ourselves. Let's explore how we can engage, how we can build that engagement with ourselves. Number one, discover your purpose. It took me a long time to figure out what I needed to be doing, what my calling was in life. It took me a long time. You know, coaching is it. I love what I do. I love being able to connect with other people all over the world and just have a conversation. Just listen. Just listen. Very powerful. When we discover our purpose, it gives meaning to everything we do. Everything we do then has meaning. When you find yourself pulled in many different directions, maybe stop and ask yourself, what matters to me most right now? What matters most right now? Part of finding your purpose. Once you ask that question and you have your answer, do that thing. What is it that matters to you most right now? What is your purpose? Another way to engage is to start your day with your daily ritual. A lot of times I will find myself as I drink my first cup of coffee, checking Facebook, looking at my emails, just kind of going on autopilot. Bet there's some other people out there too that you're right there with me. It's autopilot in the morning. I'm not really awake, but I'm also not engaged. So what happens when we set a tone? We change our ritual in the morning. Maybe instead of getting up and checking your phone as you're drinking that first cup of coffee or tea, you have some mindful meditation. Maybe after you've had your first cup of coffee or tea, you do some relaxation techniques. You do some stretching, maybe a little bit of yoga. Maybe you check in with yourself. This is part of creating that daily ritual. This is something I do every day, usually after I've had my coffee. But I'll check in with myself. How am I feeling? Am I stressed? Am I excited? Am I relaxed? Am I tense? And by checking in with myself, it allows me to be more engaged with my day and then with my clients when I'm coaching them. Are you mindful of your energy levels? Are you tired? Are you hungry? Using these techniques to help you relax then really helps you engage, not just with yourself, but with others. Show up fully present. Another way to engage by prioritizing your values, setting some clear boundaries. Now, I know this can be really challenging to do. Boundaries are a tough one, and prioritizing our values. We say, all right, yeah, I have values. I believe in this. I don't believe in this. I think things should go this way. Then we start shooting all over ourselves, but we don't uphold those boundaries. So engaging fully in life and engaging fully in yourself. Maybe we step away from the world that's filled with information and deadlines. Maybe we say it's okay to do it tomorrow, or it can wait a little bit. Maybe we set those boundaries and we prioritize what needs to happen first for us to be fully aware, for us to be fully engaged. You know, when you set those clear boundaries, it allows you to prioritize those things that are important to you, like family, friends, your loved ones, and also having a little relaxation while still completing those tasks that are necessary. Setting those boundaries, create an engagement. Another way to engage, embrace who you are. A lot of times when I talk about imposter syndrome, that's one of the things that I will touch on, is we're afraid to show up as we truly are. I always laugh and say, you know, I'm a little quirky, I'm a little weird. And I had one of my fellow coaches say to me, well, is weird a bad thing? I thought, you know, I guess that used to be. So what happens if I fully engage and I show up as myself and I'm not weird? I'm just quirky and funny and full of life. Wow. How does that shift things? So focus on the things that energize you. A great way to embrace yourself. What energizes you? What makes you happy? What makes you get out of bed in the morning? Other than coffee and cats. Allow your authentic self to shine through. Be you. Nobody else can be you. Be authentic with who you are. And be spontaneous. This doesn't mean you should just throw caution to the wind and just do whatever you want. But what it does mean is allow yourself to relax a little bit. Allow yourself to enjoy that moment. As we're enjoying our moment and we're engaging, focus on opportunities. How many times do you start your day and you think, oh, I have to do this and I have to do this, and what if this happens? And you go into that negative spin. Let's turn that around. Let's look at those opportunities to grow every day. What can you do? How exciting to think about what you can do to grow every day, to embrace those opportunities. Have the confidence in yourself and your abilities. That imposter syndrome will start sneaking back in and saying, oh, you're not good enough. No, you're a fraud. You don't deserve that. What happens if you have that confidence? What if you say, no, I've worked hard. I've done this before. I know how to do this. Focus on those opportunities. Celebrate those small wins. What are your wins for today? One of my wins today was getting on Facebook Live and being able to talk to you guys. So what are your small wins? Celebrate those small wins. Those small wins then build into big wins. Small to big. Create those wins. Another way to engage is to engage with your community. I just moved halfway across the country about a month and a half ago. And one of the things my boyfriend said to me is, he said, well, are you going to be okay? You won't know anybody there. And I said, yeah. I said, I'm going to make a bunch of new friends. And he looked at me kind of weird. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to engage my community. The apartment complex we moved into is a community. And I reached out. I met some new people. I have some fantastic new friends. Engaging in your community means finding time for that, finding time for yourself, for your friends, for your family. Finding time to set aside work and say, all right, what's important to me? How do we engage our community? Make that new friend. Reach out to somebody you haven't met yet. I have the opportunity this week. No, it was last week. Yes, win for today, being productive while roofers are banging on the roof. That's it, Daniel. That's pretty productive. I made a new friend last week, Tamara. We connected through Facebook, and now we have this great conversation going. What a wonderful opportunity. I love learning about others. Another great way to engage your community. It's not about you, a little bit about you, but what about other people? I love learning new things about other people and finding out, what are they doing? How are they coaching? How are their lives going? What are they doing to affect their community and themselves? Another way to engage and do this with your community, but also with yourself, is listen more, talk less. Listen more, talk less. You may say, well, how do I do that with myself? I don't know about you, but I have a running dialogue going on in my head constantly. And a lot of times I'm listening to that running dialogue and I'm not even really thinking about it. I'm not listening. But what happens if I listen more and I start talking less? I tune down that internal dialogue. It's interesting the peace you can find when you turn off that inner critic. Again, paying attention to other people, going from inside out, engaging in your community. Everyone is unique in their own way. What a wonderful time to be able to celebrate the diversity that we call this planet, and to be able to meet new people and learn new things and hear their perspective. Paying attention to those around you and celebrating their interests. Find out what's interesting about them. Find out what gets them excited. Find out what makes them passionate. What fun to learn more. Finally, when we are engaging with ourselves and with our community, I would encourage you to practice gratitude. Write down 3 things that you are grateful for. Maybe make this a practice for today, for tomorrow, for the next day. Start your day. Maybe this is your new routine. Start your day by saying, all right, what am I grateful for today? When you push your focus, where you put your focus is what you receive. So if we focus on negative, chances are you're going to notice negative. If you focus on the positive, you focus on opportunities, you're going to start noticing the positive. You're going to start noticing the opportunities. There's a great book that I read recently called E Squared, like E and then the number 2 squared. And it talks about how what we focus on is what we see. One of the exercises she does in the book, she asks you to pick a car and then look for that car. I chose to pick a strange color car, like school bus yellow. Not seen on very many cars. It was interesting. As soon as I thought about that and I started focusing on it, I saw 5 cars in 2 miles that were school bus yellow. So focusing on what you want, focusing on your positive, looking for those opportunities, engaging with yourself, and then engaging with others. I would invite you to engage deeper each day and enjoy the life that you are leading and you are creating.